It's heart-driven work. We do it because we love our community, and that's what RedCan is. It's a gift to our people, to our community, to our children, to ourselves.
It's art done by professionals, by youth, by people who just want to express themselves and make Eagle Butte a better place.
I feel it in my heart, like this is the best, this is the dream, this is what I imagined, and we've arrived. That's how I feel.
RedCan is the practice that a lot of people hold in theory. It's not a textbook, it is a lived experience.
It creates a constant reminder for people to think about who they are, to think about where they come from and where they're going.
Being able to paint and express yourself is something that's important for your mental health, your physical health, to stay healthy.
It gives them a voice, man. I just think it helps them to feel encouraged, to feel acknowledged, to feel accepted in their own land. It just re-acknowledges them as people, as humans.
Art is power because it's an expression, and you're voicing your opinion and you're voicing your ideas. It's a voice that gives the silent a voice, and it gives the small people a voice, big people a voice, to represent who we are. It kind of takes your place back. Call that land your own again.
Take a walk in the park.
I never would have picked up a spray can, ever. I didn't know that I could do that. I didn't even cross my mind that I could do that. I didn't know what it could look like.
What I see is not only inspiring, but also more so empowering. Because I see other individuals like myself out there doing amazing things, and even more so, I know that each one of these kids has that potential.
If I had known this opportunity, or I had known this about myself when I was younger, where could I be at now? I'm excited about where it can take me.
Take a walk in the park. Wondering if there's more.
It's empowering because they see that it's possible. More than that, we give them a direction and the magnitude, the support, and really that's the most important thing, is that we're all a part of this hoop, a part of this circle, and every one of us is helping it move forward.
Working in a different cultural environment, trying to create things that create a positive message that adhere to the community, it helps us to grow and understand something different. It makes me think a little bit differently about my artwork and even just who I am as a person.
We have kids out there who are not afraid to paint something next to those big artists who do such amazing pieces. We have fearless kids out there slapping something on a canvas right next to them. To see so many kids out there not afraid to try, that's a big thing for us. That's a big thing for anybody.
I want safe spaces for kids, and I want them to grow and learn and imagine what they want to be and then become it.
To be exposed to this at such a young age, if this is part of what their journey is supposed to be, and for them to be able to have access to that at a much younger age is amazing.
Art and graffiti in particular, it evolved from written language. And even though Lakota and a lot of indigenous languages aren't written, we're seeing something kind of happening where we have a younger generation of people that resonate with art, they resonate with imagery, and being able to incorporate the Lakota language into a lot of the pieces in the murals creates a sense of pride in a way that relates to them and allows them to be able to embrace it and think a little bit more about it.
Part of the tradition of Lakota people and many other indigenous cultures to adorn your clothing and your homes with designs that tell stories and tell part of that history. And to me, this is a continuation of like a teepee painting or painting on a parfleche or a hide painting. This is an extension of that tradition. It's just contemporized because it's with aerosol instead of earth pigments.
We're writing words that mean something in Lakota. In this day and age, anybody, some kid that might be curious, would just pick up his phone, type it in, and be like, oh, Mom, that says welcome, or whatever the name of that building is because of the last name of the Native Americans that reside here because of this family or this one person that stood out in history. Now they know that, and it's all connected to RedCan, Lakota culture, and just the sake of art, just making art.
RedCan is very transformative. When we say it transforms the community, sometimes we can leave the statement right there. It transforms the community. But the community has strata, has elements. We transform the landscape. We're putting up murals.
lot of the murals that have been created in past years are still present. We're creating an expressive cultural landscape here.
We're bringing value to the community. We're making people look at something as valuable that maybe 6 years ago, 10 years ago was not held in that regard.
It's the stories, history, words, language, these kind of cornerstones of culture, and they get infused into these murals. There's also that mentorship side of it too, where we get a younger person that comes to assist, and you just have that older person kind of passing down knowledge. When I think of the times I spent with my mother and grandmother, is just sitting by their side, looking at them doing their respective art forms, and there's a similar kind of vibe that happens here. That's priceless.
Doing something with your life, doing something, whether it be just painting or drawing, something small can help take your mind into a different space where you're able to distance yourself from that issue that's bothering them. That can be just enough space for love to step in, just enough space for another thought to come in, just enough of a gap of that thought of suicide and the thought of life. And that little pause, that little second, that breath is all it takes.
And I believe art heals. I believe art transforms. And if this is the vehicle for that one person to say, I'm going to get this monkey off my back, then that is yet another instance of transformation that RedCan brings about.
In the end, Shine River Youth Project and RedCan, they're all about youth development. Like, we do this work for kids. I mean, it's art and it's so many things, and the artists feel great. But in the end, we're doing this for kids.
Maybe they're asking questions of their parents or their elders as to what does that say or what does that mean, whereas before it would have just been a blank wall and an opportunity would have been missed.
It's a different kind of program, and it's a different approach to youth programming. But the thing about CRYP is that we're innovative and we're creative and we're risk takers. But it felt right and we did it, and in year 5, we got to see the full-on dream realized, and that makes me feel so good.